What's up, guys? Keith here, Two Guys How To. June's over there, and as usual, we're fixing something, so we're gonna do a quickie video. Maybe it'll help you out. We're working on a gas tank from a GMC TOPKICK in 1994, 95. They're all up to a certain year when they quit making these style tanks. We're working on the gas tank on the TOPKICK, and as you can see it, this is the bottom of the tank here. You got your step sides and stuff and straps over there, but this is the bottom of the tank. There's the top of the tank where the fuel pump goes and all that. And we went ahead and vinegared this tank out with straight vinegar, and it did clean it up pretty good on another video. And we're having a problem with the drain plug on these, particularly with the ethanol gas. The tanks are starting to rust out more than ever, and it's just not suiting our purpose. So it's either buy a new tank, and we'd like to get this drain plug up and out of here all the time so we could drain it out either annually or something like that, or at least let the water congeal in the bottom and kind of get it out, because inside there, if you look down in the tank, there are these little I don't even know what they are, where the gas can't slosh back and forth. It almost keeps fuel. Yeah, they're like baffles in there, and it keeps the gas around the actual fuel pump so it won't burn up out, you know, because the tow truck's moving and it's going up hills, and that the amount of gas in there swishes back and forth so much it can starve that fuel pump where you'll get sputtering. So they have the baffles that are set down inside there, and I don't even know if the camera would get in there to see them, possibly. You can see it right down there. There's little walls all down inside there. Almost looks like an oil pan. But I tell you what, that vinegar got it pretty darn clean. We were going to coat this gas tank or buy a new one, but I'm just going to run it like that till it rusts back out and then do this all over again. So our goal here today is to get that stupid drain plug out of the bottom. It will not come out. You can see the breaker bars that we have here. We're using 1/2-inch drive. We actually have a 3/4 in there we might go up to. June has this breaker bar on here, and that particular drain plug on the bottom of this tank is a 3/8 drive socket head, and you can see it right here. I'll get the camera down in here. So what we're going to do today, since the 3/8 drive will definitely not work, we use PB Blaster. It's a square top where the 3/8 drive goes in there. We're going to go ahead and wire brush this. We already wire brushed it. We can hit it one more time real quick. Our goal is to weld this nut on top of that drain plug without sticking it to the side of the actual gas tank. And what we're going to do is use the stick welder. We tried the MIG.
Tried the MIG, it didn't work out.
The MIG just, it's not strong enough. It just busted it.
There.
It actually busted half of the damn check plug off.
It used to stick out a little bit.
This might not even get it out. It might just be toast where we have to cut this out and redo it and put our own type of drain plug in here. Yeah, if it doesn't work, but you can see where he welded it up with the MIG, and maybe this thing is just seized in there from the rust. So we're gonna try, and maybe it'll work and it'll help you. We're gonna weld this big heavy duty nut on here, and we're gonna get down inside there with that stick welder, which is gonna penetrate more than the MIG. And basically you're gonna have that stick that's gonna go down in there, and we're just gonna fill that thing in all the way to the top. Let it cool a little bit, maybe hit it with some PB Blaster around the edge, and see if we can get it busted free. And you can see there's the old stick welder. We're gonna start off at 105 amps and see if we can get this thing to go. So I guess let's get started here. Clean it off good, even though it looks pretty clean. Clean that bolt and the nut, and hopefully this in theory should work, but I think that, you know,
cross your fingers.
Yeah, it's just rusted in there. I've never had anything not come out like that. It should just come out. We tried heat. We tried to heat it. We tried to torch it. We've hit it with impact guns. We've hit these breaker bars on it only to just break stuff and snap stuff.
I had this set up.
Yeah, you can see what he had there.
And I gave it all I had.
And he still just snapped it. So we'll try to weld it in, let it cool down, and then try it after it cools and bonds real well. So we're gonna go ahead and Get the welding helmet on. He's got the ground set up off the welder. He's got the tank grounded. And mind you, don't do this. We rinse this tank out with water and vinegar, 100% vinegar and water. Pressure washed it. Let the vinegar sit in there to eat the rust up. And it's been probably about a month. But you want to let all those fumes out, because if you don't, and you weld this thing and it's got the fumes in there from that gas, this thing, boom, you'll go deaf. This thing will launch up in the air. And even when you...
Even the rust in there, it's soaked up with that.
Yeah, the rust is like a sponge for that old gas, and it'll just sit in there. So normally we have the top fill cap to the gas up like this, but we've got it on its side. We've already welded on this, and we've made sure it's clean and everything. There's no fumes. It almost doesn't smell like any gas at all right now. So just be cautious. Don't weld on anything if it's got gas fumes in it at the slightest at all. Fill it up with water, let it sit a couple days, rinse it with soap and water in there, and get that smell out. If not, it's going to explode on you, and you could get seriously injured or die. So let's get busy here welding this up. You ready to go, June? He's going to put a set of vice grips on there to hold it steady, or I can hold it for him. Ready?
Let me do it that way I can watch.
Yeah. You got it? Yep. Straight?
Okay.
You want to get down inside in those threads. You getting it good, June?
I think so.
Huh?
Go on with it.
As long as you weld the middle, it should stick. We're running the rods we use are a 6011. They're general purpose. They're flux coated. And you can see how hot it is. The thing's just blessed hot, and it's bubbling.
It's like the pliers squashed it.
It's okay. As long as the socket will go on there. We're gonna let this thing cool. I'm actually gonna hit it with a little bit of, you gonna fill it more, or you good?
It's probably good. Get the socket on it.
Yeah, hurry up and get the socket on it. No, I'm not sure if that's the right one. This one here. Yep, so we're good. You want to make sure that fits on there and didn't get deformed. I mean, there's a little more if you wanted to fill it in all the way to the brim. You might as well. All right, and I'm gonna get some PB Blaster here. I know we've got some in the shop. Back over here. And we're just gonna juice that thing up. You wanna hit this, a little bit of this blaster on it. See if we can get it to go down in on the sides there. It's probably just gonna totally evaporate quick, but yeah, we'll let it cool a little bit and we'll spray a little bit more on there. Just evaporate, totally evaporate, but you can see the weld he's got on there. The nut got so hot it kind of even melted. So, but we're gonna let it cool, and then we're gonna hit this thing with the breaker bar. Okay, so we let it cool down. We actually flipped the whole unit over, and we're gonna look down. If you look down, you can see that bolt. And we're gonna spray a little of that PB blaster down through the top, and just let it sit and kind of marinate. Yeah, that's good there. And we're gonna see if it'll penetrate down into those threads a little teeny bit. Wait a few minutes. Shot. Yeah, we got one chance at this whole deal. So we're gonna let that thing sit for just a few minutes and just penetrate down in there and get the breaker bar out and see if this thing will come off. All right, so we let the PB blaster sit. I went ahead and mopped up on the inside with a cloth just to get it out of the tank. We flipped it back over, and we cooled it down. I used some water, and then I sprayed some more PB here. We flipped it over as you just saw, and we sprayed PB on the inside. We let it sit for about, what, 5 minutes, 3-4 minutes. So here's the moment of truth before the breaker bar down here with that breaker, half-inch breaker didn't work. We got the, was that Ingersoll and Rand gun? That's our old go-to gun. It's a half-inch drive, and June's gonna try to zip it on out of there. Let's see if it comes out now. Boom. Threads are still intact. It's a little rusty. You can see it right there how much rust is on there, but you could actually keep that as the check bolt and as the drain plug from now on. If we screw it in and we test it with water, if it doesn't leak, we could actually keep this as our check plug. They normally keep them up like this, that way when you drive over something rough, it won't rip the deeper plug out, but we don't care. We don't go off-roading in the tow truck anyway, like that. It has straps. And it's got straps and it's up high, so we're good to go. Good to go. So inside, let's show them the inside of the tank one more time, just to show them that the vinegar works. You can see up inside there now.
We hit it with water right after, so
let's see if we can get a flashlight here. We gotta fix a couple studs here. We're just gonna grind these off and re-weld another bolt on there. We'll cut the head off the bolt. We'll go ahead and mount those on there. That'll get these hold down studs for the gasket correct. So we're probably not going to show you guys that, just because if you're already welding, you should be able to do that too, or we could do another separate video on that. But let's get down in here and see what this thing actually looks like. I can get this stupid thing on here. It's gonna be hard to see. Hard to see during the daytime. Crap. Right there you can see, just barely, but you can see how clean it is. There's a little rust on the right. That's where we let it drip, the water drip in while we were air drying this thing out. But you can see how clean the vinegar got it. It's almost shiny metal now. So there you go. Hopefully this video helps you get the drain plug out of that GMC TOPKICK gas tank. Don't throw it out or send it to the shop yet. Do it yourself and clean the inside out of the tank with the vinegar. Let it sit. We used 100% vinegar and kept setting this thing like this, and then we would turn it on its side, and then we'd turn it on each side over and over and over until it penetrated and ate that the rust out of there. I gave it 24 hours per side, and once you pressure wash it, it'll come out clean. It'll look dirty. And that's it. Fix it yourself. Keith, Two Guys How To. June's over there. We're gonna keep working on this thing and clean it out a little bit more. Fix those top studs that are broken off of the fuel pump hold down gasket there. And we're out. We're gonna move on to the next thing, get this thing installed. So check out the other videos. They might help you out. And we're out of here. On to the next. Peace. What's up, Iggy? Talk to him before I shut the video down. Oh yeah. Yep. You're not a pig, you're a lawyer. He's not a pig, he's a lawyer. Peace.
I'm not a pig, I'm a lawyer.